Mr. Boko, thanks indeed for joining us. Now, you seek to take on the Botswana Democratic Party with an excellent track record, both politically and economically, as some political thought leaders would say, and with President Khama's popularity growing by the day. How do you seek to change the country's political landscape? And, I mean, what is it that you will do that the ruling party failed to do?
Well, first to indicate that the ruling party has had an enviable record over quite a long period of time. That was until eNCA took over as the President of the Republic of Botswana, when the depreciation of the democracy in Botswana took a turn that was alarming. So in terms of his popularity, when he came in for the 2009 elections, he was at the height of his popularity. In terms of actual percentage of votes that it translated into, it was not more than 2%. Now, a number of years down the line, the man has lost popularity. People have seen through his populist programs, and we believe this is the most opportune moment for the Botswana Democratic Party to be removed from office, because our people are beginning to see that the populism of the current president has failed the country and failed it miserably.
What do you stand for? I mean, what's your party's main policy?
To sum it up very crisply, we believe in upholding the rights and freedoms of the ordinary citizen of Botswana. We believe, and we've indicated in our manifesto, that our starting point would be to legislate what are normally known as second and third generation rights. Rights to shelter, right to employment, right to quality healthcare, and right to a good education, to put those into some legislative framework that renders them justiciable, on the basis of which legal framework the government can then be compelled to meet these rights. This is something that is lacking in the current setup in Botswana, and we are the only political party that has categorically stated that this is what we will do. So we'll be mainstreaming human rights into every facet of development, every facet of governance, and every facet of the lives of our people in Botswana. And this is something unique and something that our people are ready to embrace.
Right. Now, the ruling party has been successfully recruiting members of the opposition in recent months. Is this trend, are we likely to see this trend at the coming polls? I mean, the ruling party annexing members of the electorate?
Well, it goes both ways, really. Those members of the ruling party who have become disgruntled with their own party are leaving en masse and joining the opposition, in particular the umbrella for democratic change. You must also appreciate that in an environment like ours, where government is the main player in the economy, you will have instances of pork barrel politics, where those who can be purchased, those who are purchasable, will allow themselves to be purchased. And that process of having the purchasable elements join the ruling party cleanses and purifies the opposition, in my view, and leaves only those credible stalwarts of the opposition who are prepared to take the country forward and will not be subject to pork barrel politics by the ruling party.
So you say that the members who have been approached by the ruling party have been purchased?
Those who have crossed over to the ruling party have, as a matter of fact, been purchased. They have made that attempt on me as well. They've offered me money and positions to cross over to the ruling party, which I have rejected. So it is something that I know for a fact. It is not a secret in Botswana that these elements who cross over are bought with government tenders, they're bought with money, they're bought with all sorts of promises.
Now, Mr. Boko, just a couple of years ago, you said that the University of Botswana is useless, or rather the academic staff of the University of Botswana is useless. Now, this has been deemed as taking a swipe at the country's education system. And of course, it sparked outrage, I presume, from your detractors, who are essentially saying that should you assume political office, I mean, your employment does not depend on your CV or on your academic credentials, but on the good public relations with potential voters and advisors. I mean, with such outrageous statements that you're making, do you think it's good enough for your political aspirations?
Well, the truth, as they say, always hurts. When you believe in something and you have experienced it, and you say it as it is, it normally is seen as not good politics. I think we need to rescue politics from dishonesty. We need to rescue politics from praise poetry. We need to speak the truth to power when we have to, and that is my calling. I do that, And when I indicated the challenges that face academia in Botswana, I spoke as a former lecturer of law at the University of Botswana, and I understood these challenges intimately. What I was saying was that these lecturers are mostly not capacitated to carry out their work, that the education that they are supposed to render is itself emasculated by the failure of government to come to the party and play its part. And so when one makes these points, one is making these points in order to highlight the existence of problems that call for solutions. And when one states these things, there are a few who will feel wounded by the truth, but there are many who will embrace this truth and seek to work with the person who has spoken the truth to try and address these problems. And that has been the situation for me, as a matter of fact. So I've been embraced by a lot of academics who understand that I know the problems, because I've been part of academia myself. And so I'm sure they will have confidence in me to solve these problems. And I have the capability to do so.
Mr. Boko, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.